Hi, welcome on board. And this is the first class and our first training on data analysis. And I believe every journey, it always start with an introduction. So my name is Isaiah, and I'll be your tutor for today. So as we all know, everybody are familiar with data, but not everybody really know the essence of studying or the skill data analysis. So right here we have what we call data analysis in general, and everybody are familiar with data. It's from the word data, and we have two words joined together, which is the data and also the analysis. So right here we have data, which is the details of a particular place to collect. For example, you are asked, oh, go to a particular location, or probably in UK, go to Manchester and get me. I just ask you, go to Manchester and get me how many eateries can you find there, or how many cafeteria can you find there. That is what I'm asking you to go. What? Collect data. So it is the details of a particular place you understand to collect, or anything I ask you to collect. You collecting that thing you have with you, coming back is what we call data. Or let's use it this way. I ask you, okay, go to the bank. I need to know. Just help me gather the numbers of females and male you can see in the private, the bank ATM, or check there, that kind of a thing. When you get there, you need to get details of what? Males and what? Females. That thing you are collecting, the record, anyway you are keeping it, but that major thing, that details, is what we call data. And right here we have what we call the analysis. You collecting those things and not doing anything with it, it's not really useful. And that is why we have those two words coined together, which is the data and the analysis. And analysis is studying or examine something to understand more details. Now, I asked you to go to Manchester to get me details of cafeterias or eatery around the site. What is that? You've collected the data. Then the next thing to do is that, oh, you have the record. Oh, in Manchester, I have, let's say, serial number. Manchester. I ask you to get what? The details of ask you to get details of what? Of something. So in Manchester now, you are getting the details of the cafeteria, which means name of the cafeteria, name of each cafeteria. You can have probably a specific location, or name of each cafeteria, or numbers of the cafeteria, which will just be counting 1, 2, 3, and so on. Now, you having all those things, you will now get your data, and having that record, you feel like, okay, and I have this data. What do I understand about this data? What you understand will now be questions like, how many how many do we have there? Do you understand? I'm examining and I'm studying the data I have already. Now, here now comes the joining of the two things together, which is data analysis, which is now the process of, number one, examine the data. The process of, number one, examine the data with some tools to get insights. You can also say process of, one, inspecting, cleaning. You know, if probably you're not the one that went there, or you send someone, go to Manchester, or go to, let me use London for example, go to London and gather the data of the, let's say, cafeteria. Let's still continue using the cafeterias or eatery around that side. You get in there, the first thing you will do is what? You will need to check, inspect. Is there any cafeteria? You will record a saloon as a cafeteria. So which means you need to inspect first. Then after that, after inspecting the data collected to confirm, is everything cafeteria? Hope we don't have any record that says salon. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then after that, you do what? You now claim. Let's say we're having salon record there. We are having a shop. There are two different things. Confectionaries shop or something like that. The cleaning is now I'm erasing. Okay, let me bring it out for you so you can see. I want to let me just so that we can have a scenario, where you're gonna see it yourself. So, like I was saying, we want to now remove, which is the cleaning. We want to take off things that are not cafeteria. That is what we want to take off. Things that are not what? That are not cafeteria. And how do we take that off? Very easy. We want to take off things that are not cafeteria. And that is what we want to do. Which is what? That process of taking off things not cafeteria is what we call what? Cleaning. Is what we call cleaning. That is it. Is what we call cleaning. Things that are not cafeteria is what we call cleaning. Very easy. So we're going to do that now. I'll just draft things out. We won't be talking about you won't see data sets here, but we just want to cite an example. This is explanation without the data sets. And that's what we are trying to do. So that you can understand what your role or what this course is all about. What problem you are solving, why you are solving those problems, and so on, like that. So now, let's have this. This is a notepad, and you're asked, oh, I need to do what? You are asked to go get. So let's say you're having a record that says this way. Let's say cafeteria around or in Manchester. It's a city. So cafeteria in Manchester. Don't forget, you now have a record that says, let's say we have cafeterias. I'm just using one. Let's say we have cafeteria A. Let me use caf A. We have cafe. We have caf B. Those are names of the cafeteria. We have saloon. We have book stores, and we have caf C. Now, this kind of a thing, this thing you're saying now, we have all these here. I was explaining to you that we do what? I was explaining to you about all this, which I was explaining that data is details of a particular place to collect, yes or no? And I said, it's the process of inspecting, cleaning. Now, your job is now, oh, I have this data set. What am I to do? I'm to do what? I'm to clean. I have this data set. I need to do what? I need to clean it. Because why are you cleaning? After inspecting, you've inspected that you are seeing salon here. You are seeing bookstore here. Seeing that kind of a thing, what are you going to do? You will do what? Let me increase so that you can see clearly. Good. So you can see cafe, caf B, caf salon. You're observing, you are seeing salon, you are seeing bookstores. What are they doing here? Which is the process of cleaning. I get this erased. Then I get this erased. Me erasing those two things, you can see I now have what? Cafeterias alone. I now have what? I have cafeterias alone. Cafe, caf B, caf C. And that is what? That process is what we call what? Data analysis. Is what we call data analysis. So like I said, there's a process of what? Inspecting. Process of what? Inspecting, cleaning. The next thing is now transforming. Now, let's say we have the way we have caf A, caf B, caf C, and so on. You now observe that probably caf A is spelled CAF A. Let me bring that out so that you can see. Let's say caf A is spelled CAF. This, I'm having this way, is spelled CAF A, and I'm having another one spelled CAF. Okay, let's say this one CAFD. I'm having another one that says CAFD like this. What can you observe here? I need to transform this data into something that will be unique. That is, transform this. I can transform it into any part. Let me say I have another one that says 1, 2, 3. Don't forget, this can be a name of a cafeteria. Now, don't forget, these are in what? Calf D. We have this to be 1, 2, 3. Yes or no? I can do what? I can transform or standardize into a proper data set, which makes this so that my data set can be unique. I can have this in this way. Calf what? D. You can see this. So the process of me changing everything, and this also, everything will be in text because it's the name of the thing. So the process of me changing every format is what we call what? The transforming part. Is that clear? If it's not clear, kindly let me know in, just drop a message for me. If it's not clear, you can drop it in our WhatsApp channel, on the WhatsApp, just drop it there for me so I can, review back. So let's move. And modeling data to discover useful insights, inform conclusions, and support decision making. It is widely used in business. That is, there's nobody, and that's why data analysis will surely be a sought after skill, because there is no field, and I'm saying it again, there is no industry that doesn't need data analytics or data analyst. There's no industry. So now, here comes to data analytics, which is described as the process of collecting data, using data to answer questions, identify trends, and extract insights. Now, the difference between data analysis and data analytics is that data analytics will start the process from the beginning. Beginning in what sense? Now, I ask you, Mr. Ethan, go to a bank. When you get to the bank, you observe people at the ATM spot. We want to confirm if those people are truly our what? They are our customers. This is banking industry now. What is the first thing you are going to do? Don't forget, you need to go there, check. After getting to that location, when you get to the location, what's the first thing you're going to do? You will collect their details, or you can collect details in different, you can use questionnaires to collect their details. You can use a lot of formats to collect their details. The process of you collecting the data, you want to know what are the details you will collect. You will collect serial number. You will collect serial number. Yes or no? You will collect. Now we are moving to another thing here. So now you are asked. Let me get this off so that you can see data analytics. So what are the things you will collect? Information you will collect to do what? Their serial number. What else? You will get their serial number. You don't need their name, because people don't need to disclose their name. You get their gender. After that gender, what else? We want to know. Don't forget, they sent you there so that you can confirm the people at that spot, are they the bank customers? They want to know, and that's why you're there. So you have serial number, gender. You cannot have bank, because those are the three things we want to get. Serial number is just one. You want to have one. The gender, let's say the person you saw is a male. You have male. The bank the person is used, you write it there. Do you get a point? So that process of you doing that kind of a thing, let me just use different bank. Let's say, let me just use Scan Bank, for example. If I have another person, let's say the data analytics, the name of the bank you are working for is Scan Bank, for example. Now you don't have another person, you collect another details. This person is a female, and the person is using another bank called, let's say, ISA Bank. You have another person which is also a female, and the person is using another bank called, let's say, Can Bank. Do you get the point? The process of you collecting this thing, that's the first thing. You go in there to collect. That process of you collecting the data and using that data and analyzing it and doing a lot of things is what we call data analytics. Analysts already have, there's a data already. Analytics will be the one to go collect the data and, run the analysis and do a lot of things there. Now let's go. Let me quickly use this scenario. We are using scenarios of food. Everybody are familiar with food. Now, groceries. You going to the market to get groceries. You cannot eat the groceries raw. You won't be satisfied, because that's not the purpose of you going to the supermarket to get groceries. Now, the process of you getting groceries is what we call the raw data. You cooking the groceries to make it meaningful is what we call the data analysis, analyzing it. Now, the meal itself is the insight. That is, this insight is derived from these groceries. You can't get this insight if it's not well cooked. So the work of the data analyst is what? To cook the raw data so that you can derive the insights. Insights might be small or minute. The raw data might be huge. And it's your duty to do what? To turn this into this. Now, what you now do after eating this food is the decision that the company makes. And that is it. It's a decision. Probably you're deciding that, okay, I want to sleep after eating. Do you get the point? And that is the role, and that is what we mean by data analysis. So now let's move to what we call the why organizations, why do they rely on data? Why do organizations rely on data? Why do they need you? The reason why they rely on data is to make a better, insightful decisions. See, decisions can be in different formats. You know, we can make decisions, we can make a non-factual decisions based on the fact that, let's say for example, you observe you are having headache. Now, you having headache, you now felt, oh, it's malaria. You know, you don't have a fact why it is malaria. But let's say you now went for a test. You are having a headache, you went to the hospital to run a test or to the lab to run a test. Now, in that test, what happened? You are having a data. Abi, because they are deciding through the data gotten. That is when they'll be able to decide for you that, oh, Mr. Ifan, this is the thing that is wrong with you based on what? This. Unlike you saying you are having a headache. Headache can come in different formats. It might be another symptoms for another disease. So you just need to know, and that is the reason why organizations rely on data, because it helps them to make better decisions, to reduce guesswork, improve efficiency, reduce guesswork. Instead of you guessing that I'm having a headache, instead of you guessing this thing is working, instead of you guessing this drug is working. Let's move into healthcare sector now. Instead of the doctor guessing that, oh, this drug is working, when they see the data, it will help them to know, oh, probably they collected your, what's it called? What do we call these things? Your vitals before. Now, vitals will be collected after. So it reduces guesswork. The vitals collected is what we call data. And it also improves efficiency. It also helps you to understand your customers. Oh, you can observe there's a trend in this customer behavior. It helps you based on data. To increase profit or impact. It helps you because when you observed that, oh, you own a supermarket and you observed, oh, this particular goods is selling faster than this. What do I need to do? I need to change something based on what? The data collected. Or you are trying to know if you are doing well. You will do what? You need to compose a particular question and ask your customers. Based on their responses, it helps you to know that, oh, my customers observe that, okay, I'm not really attending to them very well, or I'm not running a promotion for them, or I'm not giving them an incentives to let them know that they belong here. Me correcting that thing based on the data, what will happen? There will surely be an increase of profit or impact. You need to know something that without data, decisions are opinions, and that is it. Decisions are opinions. But to make a better decisions, you need data. And that is it. So quickly run through these questions. Can you name one decision in your daily life that could be improved with data? Think about that. All these questions, they are assignment that you need to answer, and you will send it, upload it back to your assignment portal. So you upload your assignment there so that I can see. Now, name one decision. So just come up with a decision that you feel in your daily life that could be improved with data. Name that decision. Now, we observe data analytics and data analysis. We have different types. You can't, not all, what's it called, forms of data requires one segment of analytics. Number one, we have descriptive. It focuses on what happened. What happened to me? What happened? Predictive focuses on what might happen in the future. And that is what we call, when you are running a predictive analysis. What happens in the future? Descriptive is what happened. Oh, we are having a low sales. You need to know why we are having a low sales. What do you run? Descriptive. Predictive. Oh, in the next 5 years, we want to increase our revenue to 100%. Do you understand what I'm saying? We want to increase our revenue to 100% in the next 5 years, or probably want to reach 1 billion. But what do you feel might happen that might not allow us to reach that goal? Predictive. Prescriptive is what should be done next. Okay, I'm observing the symptoms of headache and the likes. What do I need to do next? That's prescriptive. Diagnostic is now, why did this happen? Diagnostic is why. That is, it answers the question why did this happen? That's diagnosis. So you need to understand the different forms. Descriptive, that is, I have this data set. I want to know what is inside the data set. What do I have inside the data set? What is that? Descriptive. From there, I'll get the numbers of genders. I want to know the locations of where my customers are coming. I want to know which product is selling faster based on that. So we're going to run what? Descriptive analysis on that. Predictive is what do you think might happen in the future? Trying to run what's it called? An analysis to know what might happen in the future. What might happen to this business, to this organization in the future. So prescriptive is what do you feel should be done next. Diagnostic is why did this happen. All these things. That is why an analyst must have the skill called analytical thinking. It involves identifying and defining a problem and then solving it by using data in an organized step-by-step approach. And that's it. It involves you identifying, and that's why you must have this skill. Analytical thinking is a skill you try to develop yourself. It's just all about you. Sometimes you can have a data set and you can spend 3 hours or 4 hours. So sometimes I will get data set and feel like I'll be thinking again, then I'll get to play. I'll just close my laptop and go back to sleep or go back to go relax and come back there. Why? Because I want to process the problem that needs to be solved, and I want to process the problem there. And that is it. So you just need to understand that. Now quickly run this assignment. So this is the second assignment. Match each analytics types to these scenarios. Don't use Google here. Monthly sales report. What kind of analytics will be done there? Customer churn investigation. What kind of analysis will be done there? Demand forecast. What kind of analytics is needed there? Pricing recommendation. Now, I want you to match each analytics and add it up to your assignment and upload. Please don't use Google here. Just apply your normal knowledge. Just think, monthly sales reports. What analytics is needed here? So, do that. I'll be expecting. So now let's quickly run to the life cycle of data. You observe everything as a life cycle, and it evolves around it. The first one is planning. A business owner will need to sit down and feel, oh, what do we need? What kind of data do we need? How do we manage it? Who will be responsible and the outcomes? You understand what I'm saying? And it's your job to feel, oh, the first thing I need to do is to run my planning as a data analyst. Draft your plannings out. Draft your plannings out. You need to have a plan. Have a proper planning before doing anything. You can't just jump into analysis. You understand? Then after that, you capture the data. You collect data. Because in your planning, don't forget the scenario I asked you. The one I asked you to do, that go to, what's it called? The ATM spots, and we want to know if these people are truly our customers, so that we can see how to convert those that are not our customers to our customers. It's all about planning. Then after that, you need to go there to now know the kind of data to collect. That's why sometimes not all data in a data set is useful. And that's it. So then you go there to capture your data. After that, you manage the data, take care of the data, how, where it will be stored. Then after that, you now run the analysis. You understand? And after that, you can now archive or destroy. The reason is that, and this thing you need to get it right. As a what's it called? As a data analyst, you need to understand what we call there's, and that's why most times when people will give you a job, some of them will ask you to fill a form, they will ask you to sign because they are giving you their secrets. So, and that's why you observe that if you see analysts posting their what's it called, their probably analysis done for a company, is very wrong. It's very, very wrong. It's a secret. You don't need to post their work because it's not your work. If a competitor should see that, they can use that against that business, and that's why you need to be careful. So there will be some period where you need to remove the data, destroy the data, so that it won't be useful for anybody. So then we now have the phase of data analysis. The first phase is the question, asking questions. If you get to the ATM spot, you will ask questions. But before moving there, you need to ask yourself some questions. And these questions is what we call the business questions. Before doing anything, it comes with thinking, asking questions. Define the problem you want to solve. What is the problem the bank is trying to solve? The problem the bank is trying to solve is that they want to solve people come into their ATM spot. They want the to have so that it will be of benefit to them. The reason why they created that is so that they can have more benefits. So that is a problem. The problem is that people coming to that spot, they are not their customers. And we want to come up with something so that all those people will be converted to our customers. So we need to ask so many questions. We need to ask so many questions before proceeding, which is question. Oh, these people, what can I do to have these people to my spot? What can this business do? You understand what I'm saying? So it all involves you asking yourself some questions. You need to ask questions before even proceeding to anything to know what is required. What is required? What is required? Why am I doing this? How is this data will be used? You understand what I'm saying? How will this data be used? So for example, let me use this example. Now, if a shop owner, let's say you own a shop and record daily sales, what questions might they want to answer? If a shop owner records daily sales, what question might they want to answer? They want to answer which day sells most. Are sales increasing or decreasing? Those are questions. So you pen it down. What product performs best? What product performs best? So that kind of questions, you pen it down. So you ask the questions. You ask that question, and you'll be the one to ask that question and come up with business questions. Because when you don't have a business questions, your analysis is just zero. Because why are you analyzing when you don't have a problem you want to solve? Then after that, it now comes to prepare. Where will I collect this data and store for the upcoming analysis? Okay, I'll go to the ATM spot, or where will I collect it? Who will be my target audiences? The process of you collecting the data and trying to store it and do a lot of things with that data is what we call prepare. Now, the next phase is now the process phase, where you now find and eliminate any errors that can affect the way of results. You already know your questions. You've gotten your data. Now, you now look into that data and start checking errors. Start checking things that are not needed. Remove it. The process of you removing those things and doing a lot of things with that data is what we call process. Then the fourth one is now what we have. You now want to use a particular tool to now transform that data. Don't forget that cooking scenario that I explained to you. You went to the market to get groceries. Coming back, you need to remove some things. Don't forget, it's not all vegetables that is needed. Sometimes you need to remove some seed or some things. You remove those things. After removing the process of you removing those things, removing things that are not needed, removing debris and removing dirt and all those things is the process. Is the preparing stage. Is the process also, because preparing stage is you want to prepare to cook, you are washing your plate. Process is now, oh, I'm having all these goods. I want to take off some debris, some things that are not useful. That is the process. After doing that thing, now preparing the food, cooking the food is now with what will you use to cook the food? You use gas. So the gas you are using, the pots you are using, they are your tools that are used in transforming that data to derive a useful decision. Then after that, you now what? You now share. This is where you now interpret. Oh, and this interpretation can take you hours also, because you start writing. It's all about documentation. Then after that, you now need to act fast, where all the insights are put to work. That is where you now feel like, okay, I've gotten this insight. Now this is what you are going to do. You will recommend to stakeholders. Now the stakeholders will now be the one to make use of that your recommendation based on the data gotten. The process of doing those things and doing that thing, putting the insight to work, all those things are what we call the phase of data analysis, and you need to understand that. So let's quickly run these scenarios. You can see the scenarios. A local cafe wants to improve sales. Imagine you own a small cafe in Lagos or London or anywhere, and you've noticed that some days are busier than others, but you don't know why. You now decide to collect data to figure out what's happening. What's the first thing? Don't forget, you gather your data. The first thing is that you are thinking. You're asking yourself questions. You don't know what to do. You understand that kind of a thing. Then after that, you've gathered the data. So these are the data collected. We have day, customers, popular item, and average spending. Monday to Sunday, customers that came on Monday, 30, down to Sunday, 70. Popular items, cappuccino, croissants, martial arts, espresso, cheesecake, iced coffee, pancake. These are the average spending in dollar. Now, the next thing will now be what? You now start asking yourself important questions based on this data. This is the data. All these are the data. You now start asking yourself questions. Which day has the most customers? You pen it down. Don't forget the problem that you've noticed that some days are busier than others, but you don't know why. You don't know why some days are busier than others. Now, you ask, which day has the most customers? Which day here has the most customers? You can see. After that question, you ask the second question, which item sells the most on busy days? Which item sells the most on busy days? You want to know days that are busier than others. So, which item sells the most on busy days? You note that also. You write it down. On which days do fewer people visit? What's happening? Why are they visiting? So, you want to know which days are fewer people visiting. The next one will now be, what's the highest spending day? The days that they are spending more. This is your cafe, and this is the data collected. Then after that, you now do what? After writing your question, you now need to what? Answer the what? You now need to answer the questions. Which day has the most what? Customers. So you check which day has the most customers. Which day? You can see here we have Monday 30. The day that has the most customers is what? Saturday. The day that has the most customers, you will feel is what's it called? Is Saturday. But these are weekends, not the normal day. These are weekends. So which day? Normally we all are familiar with Monday to Friday is what. So I want to know which normal working day has the most customer. This is a general day, but which normal working day has the most customer is what? From Monday, we have Monday to be 30, Tuesday to be 25, Wednesday 40, Thursday 20, is what? Friday 60. This is it. Friday 60 customers. The next one is now, which item sells the most on busy days? Don't forget busy days. I made an example. I said this one is a normal day, while the normal working day is 60. Now, which item sells the most on busy days? Which item sells the most? After answering that also, you now see on which days do fewer people visit. The fewer people visit, you can see on Thursdays. Fewer people visit on Thursday. This is 20. Then what's the highest spending day? Highest spending day. Check. Highest spending day. The highest spending day is what? On Friday, 6.50 also. Now, you can see, this is my insight. Based on the analysis, you might now take action to improve business. That is, offer discounts. You've already gotten your answer. You now offer, this is now the recommendation. Offer discounts on slow days like Thursday. Don't forget, Thursday is the slow day. Offer what? Discounts so that they can surely come also on Thursday to attract more customers. Then promote cheesecakes and iced coffee with special deals on busy days. Cheesecake is on Friday. Iced coffee is on normal day. You understand? 80. So you can see we have cheesecake on normal day on busy days. Iced coffee on normal days. 80 and 60. So you can see here, you now do what? With special deals on busy days. Promote this. with special deals. You can now come up with special deals. That's why you observed that some supermarkets will tell you they are having probably a 30% off or something like that on a particular day, so that people can, come on that day and they can, try to improve sales at that particular hour. Then also open a loyalty program for high spenders on Friday. You can see on Fridays, this is where they spend much, 6.50 on Friday. So you can open a loyalty programs for them for high spenders on Fridays. So all this, if the company can follow all this, it will help them to increase sales and customer satisfaction. So this is exactly what companies, every individuals they use. Do you understand? So that is the first thing. So this is your assignment. You have an health related scenario. So this is the assignment. This is the data. I've gathered the data myself. This is what you have to do. Which department has the longest wait time? Which department has the shortest wait time? Is there a link between patient numbers and wait time? Which department is busiest? You find the insights, and also after answering those questions, find insights and make decision. So we're almost rounding up. Who is a data analyst? Who? A data analyst is someone who uses what? Data to answer business questions. Use data, this data to answer what? Business questions, and communicate insight clearly to decision makers. So in the next class, I want you to read on data wrangling, data modeling, data visualization, data cleaning, data mining, and data exploration. Read all these things and come up with your own, after reading, your own knowledge based on your write-up. You will write it yourself and come up with a summary on each. Data wrangling, data modeling, just one paragraph on each. After reading all through, come up based on your own knowledge. Don't use Google or anything. Your own knowledge, just come up with a summary where you can understand on data wrangling, data modeling, data visualization, data cleaning. So see you in the next class. Don't forget, do all those assignments. You have how many assignments in total? You have 1, you have 2, this is second assignment. You have I think there's another one. You have another assignment here. I think, yes, you have it here, which is 3. You have another assignment here. Then also this one is another assignment, making 4. So see you in the next class, and let me know if you have any question also. You can drop it in our message. Thank you.